All right. So this series is basically me playing basketball, trying to get better. I got 4 goals with this. The first, I'm also doing this at the top of my head. The first being to dunk. Now I'm about 5'9", 5'10", 180 pounds. I got a good amount of muscle, but it's all about, the diet and training and stuff like that and actually practicing jumping. So that's my first goal, dunking. The second goal is to become more consistent with my shots. The third goal is to become better with dribbling in general, both with my left hand and my right hand. My right hand's not too bad, but also like if I were to play against someone who played even like Division 3, of course, they'll destroy me. Then my left hand in general, the fourth goal is to, hit shots with my left hand. I need to be able to hit layups, even floaters, to be honest. And so you'll see in this video, there's a lot more comfortability with my right hand than my left hand. So I just got to get better at that. And yeah, so I'm going to be voicing over this video, giving you guys some idea of what I plan to do in order to get my goals within the next year or two, I'm hoping. I started playing basketball, and I'll dive into this in a future video, but I started playing basketball a little bit like 2017 and 2018, somewhere around there. I got into it as a fan like 2016 watching. But my goal is to just get better in general. This is a sport I really enjoy. I love other sports too, but basketball, it's always had like a special place in my heart ever since I started playing it. So I'm just looking forward to getting better.
Now the voiceover is beginning here because this is where my mic starts to go to dust. But anyways, you can kind of see in this picture and in the video I kind of mentioned or highlight it. You can kind of see where I'm looking. The hoop I'm playing on outdoors does not have a backboard. The other hoop is missing a whole hoop in general, so it's only like the pole. But here, you'll see me shooting, and when I'm shooting, the backboard is just missing the glass, and it's completely fine, but it was just something I didn't expect when I came to record at my local park, but it's all good. Now, for this voiceover, I'm gonna go over some of the things you'll see in this video, whether it be me shooting around here, and whether it be about, what I do at the gym, because the first goal was dunking. Now with dunking, my goal with that is to be more consistent with my diet, intake more protein, cut down on the fats and the carbs in a sense, but also, eat healthily and enjoy food. I don't want to make food a chore. I want to enjoy food. But I've been doing pretty good at that lately. Now, my goal is to go to the gym 3 to 4 times a week. I will be traveling soon, so it's a little bit more difficult to do that, but I'll still try to do my best and I'll still try to be active. Now, when I am traveling, you'll probably see some videos of me in America still coming out with this series, but you will most likely, or more than likely, see video footage of me in other countries potentially playing. Like when I'm in Brazil, you might be seeing footage of me playing. I have minimal footage of me playing before when I visited, but I'll get more. Now, with me, I grew up playing sports all my life. I was in soccer/football, soccer pretty much, not American football, and swimming growing up. Those were my 2 main sports. I was always good at like kickball and stuff like that. Anything to do with your legs, I was pretty good at growing up. And so, with soccer, my lateral movement really translated well to basketball pre-injuries. I did have, a couple an ankle sprain and then sometimes an ankle roll every now and then. But I've been trying to build it back up, increase mobility and so on and so forth, and I've been doing better. It's not 100%, but it's getting there. And it's getting stronger, honestly. But anyways, I do have a little bit of asthma as well, but I still try to work through it. In the past, I used to have some really good cardio. I honestly I think I was around like 190 when I started going to my gym in 2020, 2021. And I lost a good amount of weight. I went to like 170 something. And I had an insane amount of cardio there. But then I gained more weight in terms of muscle and so on. And some fats, of course. I gained some good and bad weight. And so I lost a little bit of my second wind in cardio there. But the goal is to get that back. The goal is to build myself back up. I prioritize leg days, and I always make sure I do leg days once a week, but I do it intensely. I do my best. If I can't handle something, I do a partial rep for the minimum, and I try to get things in and done. My leg days are some of my most important days for basketball. But, in order to dunk, I can't just build up my legs. I need to build up my core and so on. I need to build up basically the whole body. So that's my issue here. I need to focus on the whole body, not just legs. And that's what I'll be trying to do even while I'm not at my own gym. Now, for my other things, those handles, consistency, and left hand, let me just go into handles. With handles, how am I going to get better at that? Honestly, the best way is to just dribble, in my opinion. I noticed that I got better at dribbling over the past year or so just by dribbling. It's not about, I need to be able to dribble with my left hand and just dribble with my left hand for a whole week. No, I just need to dribble in general. When I go to the gym, I can warm up with shots, sure, but the important thing is to dribble and practice dribbling, even if it's just stationary dribbling. But something I do is I like to move around while I dribble and kind of dance with it. I like to dance with the ball. I know there was famous NBA players like Kyrie Irving and some other NBA players that talk about rhythm and cadence. And I think it's pretty important with basketball to understand rhythm and cadence and to not do any movements for no reason. So that's important to me, and I'll be getting better at that. Now, when it comes to my left hand, honestly, it's just about comfortability. Getting comfortable with using my left hand with dribbling will help with shooting, but also shooting with my left hand, I think will help me get comfortable with dribbling with my left hand. I'm not the worst dribbler with my left hand, but it's important that I'm okay with catching the ball with my left hand and then immediately passing it back and so on. I think my passing and my defense are some of my best skills, but I need to get better at everything else, and I feel like my defense and my passing will only get better, and it'll only be better for me if I get better with my left hand. There's no downside to practicing with my left hand and really making it a focal point for a while. Even if it's only for like a year or so, it'll help me immensely. Now, the next thing is consistency. I need to be way more critical of my form. You can see in this footage of me playing basketball, I gotta be way more critical of my form. Sometimes I notice I have two issues. And sometimes I roll my right hand a little bit and it looks like I'm grabbing like a banana that slips out of my hand or like a cup that slips out of my hand. So that's one thing I noticed that's an issue, and that's one I know for sure is an issue that I have to fix. And then the second issue is that I need to stop compensating for imbalances by using my left hand. Every now and then, it's somewhat rare. I feel it, but I don't see it. I think something's a little bit wrong with my form where I can feel that I'm using both hands. I'm using my left hand a little too much. I'm not guiding with my left hand enough. And I think what that comes from, is when I shoot, I don't like to jump a lot. I don't like to use my legs a lot. And I think my arms are overcompensating, of course, to be able to add that strength. So I gotta be a little bit more mindful of that and try to make sure that my left hand isn't affecting the shot too much. So that's my main goals. And that is actually where I'm going to end this video off on. I don't want to make this video too long, but look forward to a second video in about a week or so. My goal with this series is to keep myself accountable. It took me a while to get started on the editing, but the editing really isn't the difficult part. The difficult part is just being consistent. And that's kind of what I have to hold myself to, like a standard. But as always, and this is going to be happening in every video, I'm going to say this: you cannot end it on a miss. Like and subscribe.